Mr. Eggplant presents...
Hey guys, Tyler here, and thanks for checking out my video. And in this video we are going to go over a kind of an in-depth guide for Opulence, normal, and heroic. This is a heroic kill that you are watching the video of here now. And instead of cutting it up like I had the other kills, I thought it would be kind of cool to just do this one like a long form and show my commentary for each one of the little rooms here as we move up with the mini bosses to get to the final boss of Opulence. So I am running on the left side. That's the only side I've worried about so far. I make sure and do all the mechanics. I call out the mechanics for my side, which this second room here, we have to dodge the flames. So they come out from the left side this time. The next time they're going to come from the right side once we hit this room again. And basically, the safe zone now will not be safe here in just a second. So it's very easy to figure out where the flames will be. I've not done this on Mythic to know if they change, but just for normal and heroic, what's safe one go through will not be safe the next. And on this side, you want to make sure and dodge the crush that the boss throws down, and we try to get it to where he points to the corner of the room. It doesn't always happen though, and we've noticed that it once in a while will just randomly turn around for no reason. So I'm not sure if that happens in this recording, but if I get hit by it, it's probably not my fault. In this room, we want to make sure and dodge the flame beam, and then of course drop the volatile charges away from the group. That's why I tend to stay away from people. And I also stay away from people because I will eventually have the topaz, which will, once I stay away from people and I hit 100 stacks, I will give everybody 100% crit chance. So it does stink because it doesn't increase my damage because I have it, but it does help our group overall. And I've got to the point where I can just make sure and have 100% crit as we're going into the boss. I try to do a really good job of stacking that up. So in this room here, it doesn't change too much. It's either kill him or be killed. I believe it's whenever you go below 50%, you get a damage increase, if I remember right. My group does not worry about that. We just kind of just muscle through it. It's not too bad. I do run my cooldowns on cooldown. I don't like save anything until the last room at least. And also, I'm going to get hit by this if I'm not careful. There we go. I want to make sure and dodge all that and try to drop those volatile charges in a safe place where they're not going to hit anybody else and they don't overlap too much. Because that's the last thing you want is to get nuked on your way out. So I am running with my Unerring Visions build. The only difference is I'm running with Binding Shot, as you can see there on my bars, right underneath my Steady Shot cast there, instead of running with the heal increase, the one that for how much focus you spend, you get a cooldown on your heal. The Binding Shot's just really good because it lines up perfectly with the ads that come out in the second phase when Opulence is actually out, and it's a nice way to increase your group's total DPS by getting rid of all those ads in a timely manner. I've noticed on some of our wipes, it was just because the ads were getting out of control. So I was able to make sure, and unfortunately also, I did bring this one into the room. I shouldn't have. I should have just dropped it back there. That was my mistake. So if you are somebody who has the volatile charge and you can afford to leave it in the last room, please do so because it just makes this room much easier. So I was telling you guys, the flame vents come out from the right side this time, and you want to make sure and go where they were last time. It's pretty self-explanatory. Anything else I can say would be pretty much the same as normal. This fight is one of those that doesn't change too much. That's why I thought that just go ahead and showing you the heroic version would be just fine. And we are doing all right damage-wise on both sides. The right side in this video is actually running with one more DPS than the left, but we're keeping up quite nicely. So as you'll see me, I'm running over here, which I grab the topaz, which as long as nobody's standing near me, I gain stacks. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to gain stacks right now, but once I hit around 80 or so, I'm going to start running with people. And also, in Heroic, which is one of the few changes, once you grab your gem, whatever it may be, the healers have to make sure and heal you up because then you're going to take a large amount of shadow damage if you don't have the debuff that I have right there. because otherwise you'll die. And if for some reason you see that your debuff is about to expire and that damage is going to hit you, you can turtle through that. So in a last-ditch effort to save yourself, if you don't have that healing debuff that saves your life, you can use your turtle. So I'm thinking about what stacks I need to be at to be able to go into the next room here. Because after all, we want to pretty much have my 100% crit as soon as we get on the boss, or as soon as we do Lust, just to gain the most benefit out of it. If I'm not mistaken, in this recording, I think I get 2 off. That's the whole goal. Because you obviously, unless you're doing this like on Mythic, you don't need the buff in here. Especially because our DPS is a little bit on the low side, which, you know, it happens. We're just a casual guild. And see right here, I'm staying with Glitch, the tank here, to make sure I don't gain any more stacks. Because I believe I was north of 90 there, or at least at 80. So we have Opulence that is coming up here. And as soon as we all get here, we will Lust. So I will break off of him. That way I can get the buff as I'm working on it here soon. So we've got the liquid gold. So if you do have liquid gold, you do want to move out there. And I'm moving out here so I can get the full stacks there. And then you want to group up whenever the coin shower, or golden shower as my guild likes to refer to it as. So we will go ahead and Lust here as soon as I get the full cooldown up, and I'll drop my binding shot here. That way everything else is just now falling off. That way they'll walk out the 5 yards and then immediately be able to be rooted with that. So now we are getting ready to Lust up here. I'm giving everybody the 10% or the 100% crit chance, and so we just cleave off of Opulence. This is a pretty easy fight. So if you happen to get, see, Whale of Greed's coming out. This is where you might use Survival of the Fittest if you're low. Otherwise, don't worry about it. So I drop off from the group so I can start getting stacks again. Like I said, I don't remember if I make it to another buff or not. But if you do get Coin Shower as somebody with an immunity, i.e. Bubble, you know, something like that, Turtle, I guess. You can just run it out of the group, and so they don't have to worry about it, because it does do a lot of damage. And if you're a little bit behind, you probably don't want to drop it on the group, but it will kill you if you don't have an immunity. So we're just going to continue to cleave on the ads, because ads do take priority because they will kill you. It's not just to pad the stats there, but I did drop my binding shot. That way I can just cleave from Opulence onto the rest of the group. So if I was running with another gem, for example, like the one that you have to hit multiple targets and then you gain an extra % damage, you would still want to just cleave off of Opulence, because you could still get all those stacking buffs from the multi-shot that you would use. So we had one last Spirit of Gold there, but we have a pretty clean layout here so far. We just get through the Whale of Greed, and I've noticed that I didn't use my defensive because I didn't need it. So we got the Coin Shower there. So everybody wants to stack on Renche, except for, of course, me, because I am trying to get the full stacks there. Unfortunately, we didn't have anybody die, so that may have been a bad call on my part. I probably should have went in there, but that's all right. So we'll drop the binding shot again, and we have the incandescent buff, so we want to make sure and finish him off here. Yeah, it looks like I should have just not worried about it. It looks like you can probably get one off pretty easy. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely consider subscribing to the channel. This is one of the more fun bosses I think I've had in quite some time in the game. Appreciate you guys watching. Until my next live stream or video, I'll see you guys later.